I think that's the single best piece of advice. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better and questioning yourself. Persistence is very important. You should not give up unless you are forced to give up. People work better when they know what the goal is and why. It is important that people look forward to coming to work in the morning and enjoy working. Pay attention to negative feedback and solicit it, particularly from friends. Hardly anyone does that, and it's incredibly helpful. You have to be pretty driven to make it happen. Otherwise, you will just make yourself miserable. Life on Earth must be about more than just solving problems. It's got to be something inspiring, even if it is vicarious. The first step is to establish that something is possible, then probability will occur. You want to be extra rigorous about making the best possible thing you can. Find everything that's wrong with it and fix it. Seek negative feedback, particularly from friends. I think it would be great to be born on Earth and to die on Mars. Just hopefully not at the point of impact. I think it's very important to have a feedback loop, where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. My motivation for all my companies has been to be involved in something that I thought would have a significant impact on the world. The odds of me coming into the rocket business, not knowing anything about rockets, not having ever built anything, I would have to be insane if I thought the odds were in my favor. Starting and growing a business is as much about the innovation, drive and determination of the people who do it as it is about the product they sell. If you go back a few hundred years, what we take for granted today would seem like magic, being able to talk to people over long distances, to transmit images, flying, accessing vast amounts of data like an oracle. These are all things that would have been considered magic a few hundred years ago. We're running the most dangerous experiment in history right now, which is to see how much carbon dioxide the atmosphere can handle before there is an environmental catastrophe. If you're trying to create a company, it's like baking a cake. You have to have all the ingredients in the right proportion. Brand is just a perception, and perception will match reality over time. Sometimes it will be ahead, other times it will be behind. But brand is simply a collective impression some have about a product. I do think there is a lot of potential if you have a compelling product and people are willing to pay a premium for that. I think that is what Apple has shown. You can buy a much cheaper cell phone or laptop, but Apple's product is so much better than the alternative, and people are willing to pay that premium. There are some important differences between me and Tony Stark, like I have 5 kids, so I spend more time going to Disneyland than parties. There have only been about a half dozen genuinely important events in the 4 billion year saga of life on Earth: single-celled life, multicell life, differentiation into plants and animals, movement of animals from water to land, and the advent of mammals and consciousness.